Next one is from Michael. He says, I have an appliance repair lead gen website with 1 GBP so far. I have a homepage with services and a list of locations and some content on it, and I want to create a location page that I would put as a landing page to GBP. Which of my location page consist of to help the GBP? It should provide agreement. Ted Kubitis said that on POFU Live. He was a presenter at our live event this year. And a simple statement that he said that was so profound and it really struck me. And so I repeat it and I always give him credit when I say it. And that is provide agreement between the Google Business Profile and the location landing page. That is hands down one of the best things that you can do to get good results. So how do you do that? Well, mirror the SEO title structure or format, title format. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, go look at Google Business Profile, especially one that also has a Google Business website. Go look at how Google titles their assets. How do they do it? Right? They put the brand name first and a hyphen as a separator. And then if you pay attention very carefully, especially with the Google Business website, when you go to optimize that, produce it and optimize it, before anybody says, well, that option's gone now. No, it's not. There's an easy way to do it to get to the Google Business website. I've linked to that multiple times. I can bring that up again if you need it. But anyways, when you go to publish the Google Business website, Google tells you how to optimize, and they tell you what they want you to optimize. And I know Google oftentimes gives us misdirection, but in this case, it's valid. And that is, it will tell you in what's called the description in the Google Business website. When you go to optimize, there's the headline, which is what you see on the header kind of part of the Google Business website when you're viewing the site. That you can change. You can put whatever you want in there, but I always recommend just using the Google Business Profile name there. And then the next part is called the description. The description is the first part that you have that modifies the SEO title for the Google Business website. Because the headline, you can put whatever you want there. I always recommend just putting the Google Business website name in there, or excuse me, profile name in there. But you can put whatever you want there. But that doesn't affect the SEO title though. The only part that affects the SEO title is what's called the description. And the description is the second part of the SEO title, because the first part you can't change. The first part is the Google Business Profile name. Once you publish the GB website, go look at it in a new tab. The first part of the SEO title is always the GB profile name, period. You can't change that without changing the Google Business Profile name. Same thing goes with the GB map. When you go to Google Maps and you look at the Google Business Profile in Maps, go look at the SEO title. What does it say? Google Business Profile name, and then hyphen, and it says Google Maps. So there's a separator, and then there's Google appending its own brand for that platform, in this case, Google Maps. So then Google tells us to do that with the GB website when you're publishing it. Like I said, the first part of that is the headline. We can't, that doesn't affect the SEO title though. The next part is the description. That is the second part of the SEO title after the brand name, now hyphen is a separator. And it tells you in there, before you add anything, it tells you for best results include, and it puts in quotes, the Google Business category name. And then it says, and include, and then it puts the city name of the city that the Google Business Profile was registered to, physically located in. That makes sense. So Google's telling you how to optimize. Brand first, hyphen separator, Google Business category, city, and then I always like to list the city and the state if that is how the location is, the location entity is listed in Wikipedia. So go to Wikipedia and search for the city and the state and see how it is listed. In most cases, it's going to be city, comma, state spelled out, not abbreviation, comma, state spelled out. In some cases, like Las Vegas or Miami, big cities, Denver, I think is another one. Los Angeles is another one. It doesn't have the comma state in Wikipedia. It's just the city name. So you can, in those cases, you can just go with the city. But do that, because now what you've done is you provided, you're optimizing the way Google wants. And then you mirror that same SEO title format into your location landing page to get back to the original question. Now you're providing agreement between all three assets, the GB profile, which is in Maps, the Google Business website, which is a bridge that connects Maps to organic, and in your self-hosted website, which is organic. Do you understand? So those are the three, what I call the 3 tier 0 assets, or the holy trinity of the local entity. Right? Those three assets now are providing agreement to each other, all reinforcing or corroborating entity information, local brand information. Does that make sense? So that is first and foremost, provide agreement between all of those assets. Then what you want to do is figure out what are whatever if you're optimizing for the primary Google business category, then you should know what are the services, products or services that fall within that Google business category. You want to make sure that you have those at least named or listed on the site, the page, the location landing page. I usually recommend that if it's a primary service or product, I'm always dealing with service-based businesses instead of product-based businesses. So I usually talk about services, but you want to list those as H2s. Kind of longer tail supporting services can be H3s. If there are additional Google business categories that are relevant to that Google business profile, then if they're similar enough, they can be consolidated or condensed onto the same location landing page. If there is significant differences in the additional categories that are added to the Google business profile, then you can reference them on the location landing page and have a link that goes to a specific page that is then optimized for that additional Google business category in the SEO title. That's how you optimize for it. And then on that page, you're going to list the products or services that are relevant to that category. Now, do you understand, guys, how you were providing agreement? Again, I love that term. So simple, yet so profound. You are providing agreement between the location landing page and all of the Google business categories that are added to the GB profile. You can, again, on if there are similar categories that fall under the same topic, they can be consolidated on the one page. But if there are additional categories, what kind, before somebody asks, or to clarify is what I should say, if somebody, for like a plumber that does HVAC, or an HVAC contractor that does plumbing and electrical too, those are three very distinct categories. So on the location landing page, you can reference, like whatever the primary category is for most HVAC contractors, the primary category is usually HVAC contractor, little c contractor. Capitalization matters, guys, when we're talking about optimizing for topics and categories. That's all I'm going to say. But an HVAC contractor is usually going to have HVAC contractor as the primary category, but a lot of them also do plumbing. So they're going to have plumber as an additional category, and electrical, so electrician or electrical installation service as an additional category, or maybe both of those. In that case, then if the HVAC contractor is the primary category, then you optimize the SEO title for that primary category, but you can reference electrical services and plumbing on that same location landing page that then links to specific pages on the site, the self-hosted site, that are optimized for those particular categories. Do you understand? So now what you're doing is that location landing page URL is providing agreement for all of the data that you have added to the Google business profile. Very clear. And here's another thing, because Ted brought this up, and I just recently started testing this with some of my client sites, actually. And this was fantastic. I really love this too, is most single location businesses will link to their homepage URL as their location landing page. So that's the website that they link to from the Google business profile, which makes sense for a single location business, right? But generally, the homepage URL isn't a content heavy page, right? It's more of a brand page. And so wouldn't it make sense if you have a business that to link to a specific page that is optimized for the location or locations that you want that Google business profile to rank for, and also to be a little bit more content rich, where you can reference and you can optimize for the primary category, but then also reference the additional categories and everything else and have it a bit more fleshed out. Why is it that the Google business profile for single location businesses mostly always link to the homepage URL, when the homepage URL typically doesn't provide as much agreement for all the data that's included in the Google business profile as what another inner page could, if that makes sense? So what I'm saying is, and I've just started testing with this, I don't have any data to determine if one performs better than the other, but it's logical to me that it would make sense even for single location businesses to still have a dedicated location landing page where you can provide a lot more agreement, a lot more content, etc. Still, you want a call to action at the very top that is, for the visitor, not search engines, but for a visitor, a human, to a call to action where you're asking them to submit a quote request form or click a call button or whatever. You still want all of that. You still want it optimized for conversions, but the page will provide a lot more agreement than a homepage typically would, if that makes sense. So in some cases where the homepage does not provide as much agreement with the Google Business Profile as it should, I just started testing this, but it's logical, like I said, to me, that it would perform better if you link to a dedicated landing page on the money site that would provide more agreement with the Google Business Profile, right? So remember that the homepage is still going to be the one that, or the Google Business Profile is going to rank in maps regardless of what URL it's linked to. It's just whenever but the URL that if you link to a dedicated page that can provide more agreement with the data included in the Google Business Profile, it stands to reason that the Google Business Profile will perform better, right? Because again, the brand is still going to rank regardless, if it, but by providing more agreement to what it is through the link that is linked to, it should perform better. Again, just started testing with this, so I didn't have the bandwidth to even set that up before. So anyway, hopefully that's clear, guys. I think, doing everything that I just mentioned is what I'm seeing is working the best right now, is just, really kind of optimizing the page to provide agreement, to corroborate the same information that you've listed in the Google Business Profile onto the page that it is linked to. And if you have to link to other pages for other like additional categories, as mentioned, then you want to reference that on the location landing page with clear links to those top level pages again. Hopefully that's clear. Anyway, it's a great subject. I love talking about that stuff.